Welcome to Boxed In on this exciting Wednesday. It's the Wednesday before the Hambletonian, the world's greatest trotting event this Saturday from the Meadowlands, headlining a huge card with races for just about every single division. Headline, of course, by the Hambletonian and the Hambletonian Oaks. We'll also have the John Cashman, the Kane Pace, the Sam McKee Memorial, and many more races this Saturday at the Big M. So let's get started though with a recap of last weekend where we had the Adios coming in from the Meadows. Of course, we'll see some of those horses going into the Kane Pace this Saturday at Meadowlands. But we had the finals of the Adios on Saturday at the Meadows, and Dorsaduro Hanover finally got his key win. He moves into second in the points with those crucial 20 points. He would finish just over American History and Hitman Hill, who are our two elimination winners. Dorsaduro Hanover going wire to wire here in the Adios to capture 20 points on the road for the 3-year-old Colton Gelding Pace division. As for our leader in the points, Lather Up, he was seen second to Lazarus, this amazing endpoint from New Zealand who's going for the Dan Patch next weekend. But we saw Lather Up come back to the races. He'll be racing this weekend at Scioto Downs in a $60,000 pace race there. So we'll be seeing him pace his way back into the division. Maybe we'll see him for the Carl Milstein or the Messenger later this month. But we won't be seeing him at the Kane Pace. Neither will we see Dorsaduro Hanover. We'll talk about the Kane Pace in a little bit. But of course, the big race of the weekend is the Hambletonian and the Hambletonian Oaks at the Meadowlands. The Hambletonian Oaks, we had our eliminations last Saturday, and no surprise, Manchego and Fatosive would be victorious in those eliminations. They drew next to each other in the Oaks final. Both of them were 1-2 in the Jim Darty last year on Hambletonian Day. Now they try to win the big one in the Hambletonian Oaks. We also would see Hey Blondie and Plunge Blue Chip. They would all both finish in third in their respective eliminations, but two of the top ones there top in our top five. So 4 of our top 5 Philly Trotters will advance to the final of the Hambletonian Oaks, while Atlanta is going to the boys in the Hambletonian. Looking at that Oaks final, both Manchego and Fatosa would draw next to each other. Plunge Blue Chip would draw on the inside. Really, the only outside horse to worry about is Lily Stride with Tim Tetrick, who was third in the Darty last year. But all of our top ones pretty much drew to the inside, the top 5 or 6 spots. So it's going to be a very competitive edition of the Hambletonian Oaks. You can check out all my picks and selections via Twitter Friday and Saturday, where I will be tweeting out throughout the weekend my picks for that huge Hambletonian card. As for the big one, the Hambletonian for 3-year-old trotters, in this first elimination to start one of 2, we see Wolfgang, Crystal Fashion, and Atlanta all in this one. So the big one for Yannick Wolfgang, who looks to take the Hambletonian for Jimmy Takter, while Crystal Fashion, who came out of the Reynolds last weekend, goes here. And Atlanta was the winner of the Empire Breeders' Classic before really just dominating through New York Sire Stakes action. Comes in here, instead of facing the girls, she'll go up against the boys. Now, of course, Wolfgang won here last month in a division of the Stanley Dancer. Six Pack was the other winner in that divisional race. And Six Pack we'll see in the second elimination. A little bit less talent here, but still a lot nonetheless. We see Fourth Dimension for Brian Sears. Fourth Dimension was our 2-year-old trotter Dan Patch winner last year. Now making his start here in the Hambletonian elimination. We see You Know You Do, who won the Peter Houghton on this day last year. And Six Pack, who tops our point standings, goes all the way to the outside for Oki Svanstead. So we'll see who will come out on top in the Hambletonian. Again, my picks and selections will be out Friday and Saturday through Twitter, so keep an eye on for that at MJTags11. Moving on to other divisions, we have the Kane Pace for 3-year-old Colton Gelding Pacers. While we still won't see Lather Up, as I said before, he'll go to Scioto Downs, and we won't see Dorsaduro Hanover here, we will see the Meadowlands Pace winner, Courtly Choice. Courtly Choice supplemented into this spot and now goes against a pretty solid field here in the Kane Pace. Some horses to watch here outside of Courtly Choice are Hayden Hanover and American History. Both of them would finish very well in their eliminations for the Meadowlands pace, but got into a very fast speed duel on the front end in that final. But I look for big things from them. American History, of course, rolled on to finish second in the Adios behind Dorset Duro Hanover. Also, watch out for Nutcracker Sweet with Brian Sears and Stay Hungry, Douglas McNair, Tony Alanya, one of two in there for him. A very dangerous horse here, and I think really is one to watch, seeing if he can beat Courtly Choice, who was a huge upset winner of the pace last month. As for the older pacers, we see the Sam McKee Memorial drew one of the best fields of the whole entire day. We have our top three points earners, McWicked, Rock and Rod, and Filibuster Hanover here. McWicked's going to be leading them into the charge from the second flight. So they're going the elongated distance, and they're going to have a second flight, Makatso and McWicked starting behind the 1 and the 2, Delta Winner and Funk and Waffles. But we see Rock and Ron drawing on the inside. Rock and Ron is very dangerous from the front end. And Filibuster Hanover, who has been trying to get everything throughout this year, comes in here as well. Rock and Ron has lots of lots of seconds and thirds this year. Still looking for that big win. Could it be in the Sam McKee Memorial? We will find out on Saturday. As for the Trotters, the John Cashman's headlined not by a male, but by a female. The great Horse of the Year mare, Hannelore Hanover, for Yannick, will not go against Yannick's other drive, Ariana G, who decides to go to the steal against Phillies. But Hannelore Hanover starting from the second flight, same spot as McWicked, trying to take the John Cashman Memorial. She won the AJ Cutler Memorial here earlier this year to start May, and really has been on a tear throughout the filly division this year. Of course, racing opposite Ariana G, who's been running against males mostly. But we'll see Hannelore Hanover take the boys on once again. We'll also see Triple Crown winner Marion Marauder draw in here, as is the Maxi Lee winner, and our points leader will take charge. Would love to get some separation from Moonshiner Hanover. Moonshiner Hanover only won one race, and it was a 20-pointer, so it's the only 20-point race that someone outside of inside this male division won, as Hannelore Hanover win the other 20-point race to take those points away from these trotters, as was Ariana G winning the 20-point graduate and the Hambletonian maturity. So there weren't really a lot of points to go around for the males, as it's been dominated by the fillies, and the fillies and mares go in the Dr. John R. Steele Memorial. Here, Ariana G will lead them from the outside, so it looks like a lot of the favorites continue to be drawn on the outside. Ariana G was the Hambletonian Oaks winner on this course on this day last year. We see Broadway Donna and Emoticon Hanover. They would win some of the legs of the Miss Versatility series when Hannelore Hanover wasn't dominating them, as well as PL Jill, who's been running very well throughout. So a very good field, but Ariana G looks just to class them over, and she loves running elongated distances. She won't get that here. They only drew a field of 9, but I'm sure that she would have been competitive running against the boys in the Cashman. She is just very deadly. Yannick knows how to drive her well. She loves the Meadowlands more than any other track. She's going to be very, very tough to beat. As for the rest of the points races this week, we see our top 3 points earners for 3-year-old filly pace division, Kissing in the Stand, Alexis Power, and You Are My Candy Girl. You Are My Candy Girl was the Dan Patch winner last year for 2-year-old filly pacer of the year. We see the Peter Houghton for 2-year-old Colton Gelding trotters. Some good ones there in Green Manalishi and Jerry. While for the filly trotters, the James Doherty, who had eliminations last week, we see Hannah Dream Girl and Beautiful Sin are 2 ones to watch. Hannah Dream Girl has been near the top in points, as is Beautiful Sin. And that's going to be a fun one to watch for those 2-year-olds. The eliminations were great to watch, and now we see the final with some great 2-year-old filly trotters, and we'll see who will be the next big filly trotter. Maybe we'll see one of these horses go on to win the Oaks next year. As for the John Cashman, we talked about that with our trotters. Horse of the Year, Hannelore Hanover, along with points leader, will take charge, and Triple Crown winner, Marion Marauder. As for the rest of the races at the Meadowlands, the Cane Pace with Meadowlands Pace winner Courtly Choice ahead of Hitman Hill in American history. He will look to try to take another race at the Meadowlands and start his road to a pacing Triple Crown. Of course, the Cane Pace, the first leg of the pacing Triple Crown. For the older pacers, we had the Sam McKee Memorial with McWicked and Rockin' Ron and Filibuster Hanover, all leading. Me So Fast is a dangerous one who just loves the Meadowlands as well. As for the John Steele Memorial, for Philly Mare Triers, Ariana G looks to overmatch that field. And then the intriguing ones, the Lady Liberty, who has Sharton running here. Sharton has been running away with the division, or should I say pacing away with the division. And we'll see some other top point earners in LA Delight and Blue Moon Stride. Sharton's stablemate, Nike Franco. But Sharton's dangerous. Now, remember, she did lose on Meadowlands Pace Night in the Golden Girls. While she won't see Diva's image here, it is something to watch that she did lose here on Pace Night just last month. And then finally, the big ones, the Hambletonian Oaks and the Hambletonian. All the top point earners there, all the top horses in the division right there at the Meadowlands. So we'll be seeing coming from this weekend a huge come from the Meadowlands. Next week, headlined by the Dan Patch and the Carl Milstein Memorial. For our Pacers, while our Trotters or older Trotters get the Crawford Farm and the Joy de Vie at Tioga Downs. That's it for me. Thank you for watching this episode of Boxed In as we preview a huge Hambletonian card this Saturday from the Meadowlands. Follow me at MJTags11 on Twitter for free picks, analysis, and insights each week in the world of harness racing and thoroughbred racing. I will be at the Meadowlands this Saturday, so if you see me, say hello. I'd love to chat with more harness racing fans, but I will be there, and I'll be cheering on a great field in this edition of the Hambletonian. Have a nice night.